Welcome to the second part of our video about the most legendary wrestling bouts of the 20th century. This time we continue to remember the great wrestling moments that have forever gone down in history. The video features even more epic bouts between wrestlers who changed the wrestling world with their victories and techniques. Get ready to dive back into the atmosphere of the greatest fights that have become classics of the sport. The legendary Soviet and Russian wrestler, two-time Olympic champion Arsen Fadzayev, many call no other way than the best wrestler of all times and peoples. His lightning reaction, pressure, and the richest arsenal of techniques allowed Fadzayev in a few seconds to crush the strongest wrestlers of the time at the largest international competitions. And some technical actions applied by Fadzayev soon began to call his name. So, for example, the overturn of a rival by capturing the shins was called Fadzayev's whirlwind. The fact that at 3 world championships he did not allow his rivals to score a single point shows Fadzayev's colossal superiority over everyone else. He would certainly have become a 3-time Olympic champion if the Soviet Union had not boycotted the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, because at the time Fadzayev had no equal. But the sporting career of every great champion has its black stripes, unexpected defeats, and failures. And in today's video, I suggest you remember one of these unpleasant events in Fadzayev's career, which happened to him at the World Championship of 1989. As Fadzayev himself admitted, "You get used to winning. I felt a great superiority over the competitors. I was not afraid of anyone." Of course, this feeling did not come at once. Perhaps after the Kyiv Championship, and I really got so used to it that I missed the World Championship in 1989. At the 1989 World Championships, Arsen Fadzayev, at that time already 4-time World Champion and 1988 Olympic Champion, fought for the gold against Kenny Mundy of the United States, the Olympic champion of the same year, who incidentally went down in history as the first African-American to win Olympic gold for the United States in freestyle wrestling. Notable for Fadzayev, this championship became that he was competing in a typical weight category for himself of 68 kilograms, in which he simply had no equal in the world, and he decided to try himself in a heavier weight up to 74 kilograms. And this is what happened. Later that year, 1989, the American Wrestling Association developed an exciting new competition called the Grand World Championship, in which a team of American stars battled the best wrestlers in the world in challenging prize money bouts. In conjunction with the hosts of the competition in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, including a sponsor, prize money of $65,000 was offered to the competitors. The competition was held the day after Christmas, December 26, at the large Civic Arena. At that tournament, Mundy faced a young Soviet athlete, Haji Khanov, the 1989 European champion who was a rising star on the Soviet team. He was also a World Cup champion, a World Championship silver medalist, and won a bronze medal at the 1988 World Championship. It was one of 11 bouts on that night's program that featured many of the world's greatest wrestling stars. Athletes had different styles, but Mundy was distinguished by his great speed and explosive fighting style. Haji Khanov was more of a power wrestler who used a strong stance, excellent defense, and impressive technique to defeat his opponents. Still, the faster and more explosive Mundy broke through Haji Khanov's sturdy defense and defeated him with a resounding 7-0 victory. Both of these athletes continued to wrestle for many years. But after that fight, neither of them could win a gold medal at the World Championships or the Olympic Games, although both had a major impact on international wrestling over the next decade. A bout between 2-time Olympic champion and 6-time world champion Sergei Beloglazov of the Soviet Union and Olympic champion and 2-time world champion John Smith of the United States at the same Grand World Championship. These superstars were at different stages of their careers. Smith was the hottest young star in the sport, winning his first world title in 1987 as a college student at Oklahoma State and then winning gold medals at the 1988 Olympic Games in Seoul, Korea and the 1989 world title in Martigny, Switzerland. Smith competed at 62 kilograms, and his 3 consecutive world gold medals made him the first American to win 3 consecutive medals in history. Beloglazov, on the other hand, retired after the 1988 Seoul Olympics, ending one of the most successful careers in history. Starting with the 1980 Moscow Olympics, Beloglazov won every world title until the Seoul Games, with the exception of the 1984 Olympics, when the Soviet Union boycotted the Los Angeles Games. He won every major event in the sport and competed with an intensity and technical skill that was unrivaled in his generation. Beloglazov made history as the best fighter at 57 kilograms, so in order to fight Smith he added a bit of size and weight. As for the Smith versus Beloglazov fight itself, it went all the way to the end, and the technical skill of the fighters and the quality of the fight itself met expectations. During the only 5-minute period, Smith got to work right away with a powerful single-leg bottom pass to take a 1-0 lead.
Shots, at least that's what we've seen him in the past. Smith takes the first shot though. Dumps him, 1 point.
That pass threw the Russian backward with force and set the tone for the fight. Another takedown followed by an ankle twist gave Smith a 4-1 lead 2 minutes later.
He's gonna go ahead and go with the governor. Oh, what a display of technique on that leg race by John Smith.
He followed up with 2 more one-legged passes for the win, 6-2.
Well, I'm sure Beloglazov trained for a long time to be in this match, but he is being dominated right now by John Smith. 5 seconds to go. They're not giving a point. His knee must go down. Smith doesn't care. Yeah! What a great match, Russ.
Baumgartner versus David Gobedjishvili, World Freestyle Wrestling Championships 1990, weight category 130 kilograms. American Bruce Baumgartner and Georgian David Gobedjishvili were considered the world's best freestyle super heavyweight wrestlers in the late 80s and early 90s. At the time, Gobedjishvili was a 3-time Soviet Union champion, European champion, 2-time world champion, and 1988 Olympic champion. Bruce Baumgartner, who also holds the record for the number of Olympic medals won in freestyle wrestling, approached this world tournament in the status of world champion and Olympic champion in 1984, where, incidentally, because of the boycott, Soviet athletes did not perform. The confrontation between these 2 titans of freestyle wrestling began in 1985 when Gobedjishvili won his first world gold at his first world championship, and Baumgartner then took bronze. However, the very next year, at the 1986 World Championships, the Soviet athlete lost to Bruce in the gold medal match. But after Gobedjishvili still avenged this defeat, but already in the final of the 1988 Olympic Games. So, this bout between the two at the 1990 World Championships was quite an intriguing clash of the last 2 Olympic champions. Well, here's a look at how it turned out.
Olympic gold medalists. 2 Olympic champions. Baumgartner, Olympic champion 1984. Gobedjishvili, Olympic champion 1988. Mr. Heschke, Hungary. Your mat chairman, Mr. Martinetti of Switzerland. And your mat controller, Mr. Albanese of Italy. One point for Gobedjishvili. Two minutes. Second caution against Gobedjishvili. One minute. Khanov of Gobedjishvili. And ladies and gentlemen, the champion of the world, Haji Gobedjishvili of the Soviet Union.
Et c'est les 120 kilos, la championne du monde, Gobedjishvili de l'Union soviétique.
130 kg級